Try singing it with us. Yananai, yananai, ne mato. Yananai, yananai, ne mato. Yananai, yananai, manai. Yananai, yananai, manai. Yananai, yananai, shabbatachim. Yananai, yananai, shabbatachim. Shabbatachim, gam yachad. Let's light up the world. Oh, brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing Erev Shabbat. Yalanai, yalanai, ne mato. Yalanai, yalanai, ne mato. Yalanai, yalanai, manai. Yalanai, yalanai, manai. Yalanai, yalanai, shabbatachim. Yalanai, yalanai, shabbatachim. Shabbatachim, gam yachad. Let's light up the world, oh brothers and sisters, together with peace and love. Bring light to the world, oh sisters and brothers, and sing Erev Shabbat. Yalanai, yalanai, ne mato. Yalanai, yalanai, ne mato. Yalanai, yalanai, manai. Yalanai, yalanai, manai. Yalanai, yalanai, shabbatachim. Yalanai, yalanai, shabbatachim. Shabbatachim, gam yachad. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
It is so wonderful to be here with all of you on this Shabbat. I am Rabbi Michael Weiss. I am being joined on the bima today by Cantor Deborah Canizaro, Rabbi Joel Simon, Robert Jarash, who brings all kinds of music to our lives, and Jeffrey Berger. I know your last name. Didn't want to get myself hungry. Bringing so much beautiful music to our prayer tonight. We are so delighted to be joined by the Harvester Community Church's confirmation class with Pastor Russ. and Gary bringing their students here to learn a little bit about Judaism, and we had a little time together before the service. It was lovely. We have just celebrated Thanksgiving, which is an American holiday, right? Yes. And what it does for us is it marks a time during the year where we can sit down and be together with family and give gratitude for the things that we have. And I think that what Thanksgiving does for the year, Shabbat does for our week. Every week we have an opportunity to be with family, to come together as a community, to celebrate the things that make our community so holy, and simply to be with each other. So I hope on this Shabbat we take the time to step back, to reflect, to give thanks for the good things that we have, and to let that inspire us to do more good things for others. During our service tonight, you will find all of the prayers that you need on our screen. There are also prayer books in front of you if you're here in the building with us, and you can follow along with those. You can also choose to get lost and find some different readings in there. There are a lot of things. There's a lot to reflect on in there. So if your mind needs to wander into something meaningful. There are times during the service where people will be asked to stand. If that is physically uncomfortable for you, feel free to stay seated because we know that you will be standing with us in your heart. We are grateful for everyone for sticking to our temple mask policy, that all of us in here are wearing masks over our mouths and noses the entire time, reflecting on the idea that the most important Jewish value is the protection of human life. Thank you for helping us take care of our community. And with all of that being said, we are not just celebrating Shabbat on this Shabbat. We are also celebrating with Sophie Keskiner and her family as she becomes Bat Mitzvah, leading our community in prayer and teaching us Torah. So to lead us in our candle blessings and our Kiddush, we'll now invite up Sophie, her parents Barbara and Iden, her brother Max, and we'll also be calling up her grandmother Lynn and her uncle Rod. And if you have candles and Kiddush wine at home, this is a great time for you to join in with us. We know you are here with us, and we feel you. Those of you joining us from home.
Source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of love, kindness, and peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat, our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
And we cannot wait to celebrate with all of you tomorrow as Sophie becomes bat mitzvah. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Come on, I got you.
When we embrace Shabbat, Shabbat embraces us, enveloping us in its warmth, filling us with gratitude, giving us permission to rest our weary hearts. It is not that we keep Shabbat, rather Shabbat is what keeps us. We rise together in our hearts or in our places for the Barfu, our call to worship.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la. 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 Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la. 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 Ya la 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 la.
We'll read together. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening.
Shema, no, that's not right. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. Love, only love with all your heart. Love, only love with all your soul. Listen to the wisdom inside and around you. You will remember as you're walking through the day. Make this world a better place. Children will learn, and their future will be love. Love, only love with all your heart. Love, only love with all your soul. Listen to the wisdom inside and around you. You will remember in your home and on your way. Make your life a voice of God. Be a sculptor for the holy. Be a doorway for love. Love, only love with all your heart. Love, only love with all your soul. Listen to the wisdom inside and around you. You will remember. You will remember. You will remember.
Let's read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Michamocha, Baelim Adonai, Mikamocha, Nedar Bakodesh, Dora Tehilot, Osei Beleh.
together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all our people Israel, and over Jerusalem. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam le'ridolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam le'ridolam. Yisrael, Oti le'olam, Oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam le'ridolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam le'ridolam. U'vayom hashvi'i Shavat vayinafash, Shavat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam le'ridolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam le'ridolam. In honor of her bat mitzvah, we now call up Sophie Keskiner, who will lead us in the Amidah, and we ask the congregation now to please rise.
Adonai, sifai tiftahu fi agite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu b'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
אתה
קדוש
קדוש
בשמך
בשמך
קדוש,
וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Yasher, okay, beautifully led.
Beautifully done.
We look forward to you leading us in prayer tomorrow. We read responsibly. For the blessings which you lavish upon us in forest and sea, in mountain and meadow, in rain and sun, we thank you.
For the blessings you implant within us, joy and peace, meditation and laughter, we are grateful to you.
For the blessings of friendship and love, of family and community, for blessings we ask of you and those we cannot ask.
For the blessings you bestow upon us openly and those you give us in secret, for the blessings we recognize and those we fail to recognize.
For the blessings of our tradition and of our holy days, for the blessings of return and forgiveness, of memory, of vision, and of hope.
For all these blessings which surround us on every side, O God of the universe, hear our thanks and accept our gratitude. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'ed lehodot.
Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. We'll sing now our song of peace, a gift that we always desperately need. It's our prayer for peace, Shalom Ra.
Please be seated. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon le'chol ha'shalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon le'chol ha'shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה לשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Tasim Le'olam. Tasim
Is in the presence of sacred community in times of joy that we turn our thoughts to those in need of healing from our community, those who lie on beds of pain, those who ail in mind, body, and spirit. And Lord knows, our attention has been drawn to our health and the health of our community for a little while now. It's a good time for us not just to pray with our community, but also to think, what can we do to help people feel better? Our tradition says that a visit removes 1/60th of a disease from someone. So as we sing our prayer, as we think of those people in need of prayer and healing, think of what we can do for them. Who can you send a text to after services? Who can you give a phone call to? Who can you visit? What can we do to take away a little bit of someone else's pain? Let us take away a little bit of our pain with a song, our prayer of healing, Mishaberach. A moment now of silent prayer to listen to that still small voice within.
Adonai,
So Rabbi Weiss pointed out that Thanksgiving is, in fact, an American holiday. A friend of mine who is a rabbi in Canada, actually, they had a synagogue town hall meeting last night. I said, what about all the Americans who are celebrating Thanksgiving? And he said, well, would you have an event on Canadian Thanksgiving? And I said, what? No, I know there's a Canadian Thanksgiving. I wished Rabbi Weiss was born in America, by the way. But he's lived in Canada for a long time. He did eat turkey last night, I believe. Yes. And apparently a pie inside of a cake, which is like a dessert version of the turducken. So Thanksgiving is an American holiday. It does, like all great things American, have Jewish roots. Now, you could go back to Sukkot, and obviously the pilgrims would have been aware of this biblical harvest festival, and it makes sense that they would have emulated such a thing. I wrote in Jewish Press how Hanukkah, we believe, is actually a second. Sukkot is a great holiday. We celebrate all of these repetitions of Sukkot. We should give Sukkot more attention, but we'll save that for another day. Now, there is another Jewish origin, not really an origin of Thanksgiving. This is not an origin of Thanksgiving at all, but it is all rabbis and cantors' favorite Hebrew anomaly. You may have remembered when we gave a prayer of thanksgiving earlier in the service. Do you remember saying thanksgiving in one of the words that we read? That wasn't special for tonight. That's a prayer that we read every single evening. And the Hebrew word for to give thanks is lehodot. Lehodot. Now, we're used to, if you know a little itty-bitty bit of Hebrew, one of the first words you learn is todah. Todah means thank you, and it comes from lehodot. There is another word which is the y'all version of give thanks. So when you're telling people to give thanks, and it is to multiple yous, when I was in Philadelphia, it was yous guys. Down here, it's y'all. So and that word is hodu. So hodu is telling a group of people, give thanks, hodu. Now, I could go into the whole linguistic idiosyncrasy, whatever the word is that made all of this happen, but hodu, which means give thanks, is also the Hebrew word for India, right? Remember, Columbus thought he was going to India. And hodu, Tarnagol hodu, a Indian chicken, is the word that they use in Hebrew for turkey. Again, strange. We are not going to sing. I thought about having us sing this song that a friend of mine wrote when we were in rabbinical and cantorial school, and it's Hodu lehodu, give thanks for turkey. Let's take a trip to Hodu. Hodu me'itanu, give thanks from us. Happy Thanksgiving to you. It's a great song. We're not going to sing it tonight. But there is this phrase that appears throughout the Psalms. It's actually in the book of Chronicles as well. It's in Psalm 107. It's in Psalm 118, which is part of the Hallel, the prayers that are said special on different festivals. And it's part of Psalm 136, which is actually one of the psalms that's said every Shabbat morning, if you're in a traditional synagogue where they do lots and lots of psalms. And that phrase, some of you will know, is Hodu ladonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasdo. Hodu ladonai ki tov, give thanks to God because God is good. Ki le'olam chasdo, God's steadfast love is eternal, is I believe how JPS translates that line. Hodu ladonai ki tov, ki le'olam chasdo. And in all of those times where this phrase is shared in our text, we then go to some time where we were suffering and God brought us out of that suffering. So, spoiler alert, Psalm 136 we're going to sing in a little bit. And Psalm 136 begins with give thanks to God. God's steadfast love is eternal. Give thanks to the God of all gods, the God supreme. And then it takes us through the Exodus story and talking about all of the things that God did to allow our freedom from slavery. Give thanks to God, for God's love is always good. In Psalm 118, which is part of the Hallel, it talks about that I was in my deepest despair, and you brought me out of it. Give thanks to God. God's steadfast love is eternal. Now, this week's Torah portion does not have that line, Hodu ladonai ki tov ki le'olam chasdo. It just so happens that it's the Torah portion we're reading the week after Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking about Hodu, lehodot, todah, giving thanks. And I wanted to share at the very beginning, this is the Joseph story. Now, the Joseph story of all of our stories is the one that's probably least likely to be true. A lot of our stories are not so likely to be true, but what the Joseph story accomplishes in the Torah, it's the longest narrative in the Torah, or in the book of Genesis, and it takes us from Canaan, where Jacob is dwelling, because Genesis is a story of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, of this familial covenant with God. But Exodus is the communal covenant with God. So we have to get to Egypt. And Joseph is the story that gets us from Canaan to Egypt. And hopefully you guys know the story. If you don't, Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat really is better than reading it. It's fantastic. But this is one part that isn't in there. So we begin with Joseph. We know Joseph has this Technicolor Dreamcoat. We know that he is a dreamer. He has these dreams about how he's better than all of his brothers. His brothers don't like that very much. And what Jacob doesn't know, what Jacob and Joseph don't know, is that Joseph's brothers are plotting to kill him. They really don't like those dreams. And Jacob is sending Joseph to find his brothers, not knowing their plot. And we read one time when Joseph's brothers had gone to pasture their father's flock at Shechem, Israel, Jacob, said to Joseph, "Your brothers are pasturing at Shechem. Come, I will send you to them." And Joseph answered, "I'm ready." And Jacob said to him, "Go, see how your brothers are and how the flocks are faring, and bring me back word." So he sent him from the valley of Hebron. And when Joseph reached Shechem, a man came upon him wandering in the fields. The man asked him, "What are you looking for?" He answered, "I'm looking for my brothers. Could you tell me where they're pasturing?" The man said, "They've gone from here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph followed his brothers and found them at Dothan. Now he finds them. They don't kill him. They decide that would be a waste. We wouldn't even get anything out of it. So they decide to sell him to a passing group of Ishmaelites who end up taking him to Egypt, where they sell him as a slave to Potiphar. Potiphar's wife accuses him of assault because he didn't favor her advances. He ends up in jail, right? And because he ends up in jail, he ends up becoming Pharaoh's number 2. Because he becomes Pharaoh's number 2, his brothers follow him. Because his brothers follow him, all of the Israelites are now living in Egypt, so that generations later we can become slaves, so that generations after that we can become free and we can get the Torah. You followed? So Rashi, the 11th, 12th century, the commentator, says, well, what about that man? That unnamed man who says to Joseph, "What are you looking for?" "Oh, your brothers, they went that way." And Rashi says that was the angel Gabriel. That man was sent by God so that Joseph would find his brothers, so that he would be sold to Ishmaelites, so that he would become a slave to Potiphar, so that Potiphar's wife would falsely accuse him of sexual assault, so that he would end up in jail, so that he would end up Pharaoh's number 2, so that all of those things, I don't need to go through it again. So what led to so much adversity in Joseph's life, right? If he wouldn't have found his brothers, maybe they would have gotten over the whole let's kill him thing, or let's sell him into slavery thing. Maybe they would have said, oh, he's kind of a pest, but so be it. But all of those events led to what would lead to our getting the Torah. Now, I'm not proposing that we give thanks to God for the horrible things that happen to us. That's a pretty hard step. And I'm also not one who says everything happens for a reason and the whole story is plotted out, kind of like Rashi would do in saying that this had to happen for all of these things to happen. But I think about those Hodu Ladonai Kitovs, where it's, think about all of the times where we were in the depths of darkness and we came out of them, and how grateful are we? Sometimes we're headed into those depths. Sometimes we're just going to find the brothers who are going to, and I don't need to go through the story again. It's a lot harder to be grateful at those moments. But as we are coming out of Thanksgiving, as we're thinking of this story in the Torah, as we're thinking about wherever we might be in life, I think what this reminds us is no matter what is going on in our life, whether we're here or here, going from here to here or going from here to here, we try to find things for which to be grateful. We try to see God in those moments. Maybe, I don't believe sending us there, but knowing that God can be that source of strength, that God can help us through those moments, and knowing that even if we don't believe it at the time, there will be a time where we can say, Hodu ladonai kito, ki le'olam chasto. Give thanks to God because God's everlasting love is eternal. It's not just in these moments, it's in these moments too. So with that in mind, as we think about all of the things for which we're grateful, maybe some of the things for which we're not quite grateful yet, but there might be a time, or all the ways in which we might be able to find moments of gratitude even in adversity, we are going to turn to that Psalm 136, even though it is not Shabbat morning, but it will be soon. And this is a really fun melody. You're going to catch on quickly, I think. Not to the whole thing, but you're going to get everyone say ki, le'olam, chasdo.
Chasto.
Ki le'olam chasdo.
Ki le'olam chasdo.
No, put it all together. Ki le'olam chasdo.
Ki le'olam chasto.
And if that's too hard, just yai-lai-lai
You'll
or
get
do
it.
something.
It's
But
so easy.
it's fun. And spoiler alert, we're going to sing it later too. So this is practice.
Odula Adonai Kito.
Ki le'olam chasdo.
Odula Elohim.
Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo.
Odula Adonim.
Ki le'olam chasdo.
Yaseh niflaot gedolot levado.
Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo. Odula Adonai Kito. Ki le'olam chasdo. Le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo. Odula Adonai Kito. Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo. If you haven't sung yet, it's time to start.
Oseh hashamayim b'tbuna.
Ki le'olam chasdo.
Ve'oser yamsu bli ksarim.
Ki le'olam chasdo. Ki le'olam chasdo.
Ve'evir Yisrael miktocho.
Ki לעולם חסדו.
את השמש מתבשלת ביום,
כי לעולם חסדו, כי לעולם חסדו. כי לעולם חסדו, כי לעולם חסדו. הודו לאדוני כי טוב, כי לעולם חסדו, לעולם חסדו. כי לעולם חסדו, כי לעולם חסדו. הודו לאדוני כי טוב, כי לעולם חסדו, לעולם חסדו, לעולם חסדו, לעולם חסדו. We're going to sing it again. Not right now, but in a little bit. So just a few quick announcements. First of all, actually you can tell people. We're going to have an Oneg Shabbat tonight.
no.
Yes. So we have installed a temporarily permanent tent on the side of our building. So we're going to head out there when the service is over. Thank you so much to Lynn Miriam and to the family for sponsoring tonight's Oneg Shabbat. And I'm really excited. I'm going to fit into my pants again. And tomorrow morning, we have Torah study at 9 o'clock. You can join either in person or on Zoom. And Sunday night, believe it or not, it is Hanukkah. So you remember a few years ago where we had the Thanksgiving? So this year, again, Hanukkah is as early as it can ever be. The only difference is Thanksgiving wasn't quite as late as it could ever be, which is why they didn't match up. But Hanukkah does begin on Sunday night. Make sure you check out your handout and the website. If you're joining us from home, go to www.zedek.org. There is a link to the Hanukkah page. You can see everything going on. We really have something just about every single night of Hanukkah. Sunday night, we are starting with just a Zoom candle lighting. So we know a lot of people are going to be with families, but if you want to be with your Schaarai Zedek family, please feel free to hop on there. Next Friday night is our 4th grade family service. The service will be led by our 4th graders. Some special Hanukkah stuff, some special stuff for them. The Friday after that is our Sisterhood Shabbat. And the Friday after that, December 17th, is Rabbi Michael Weiss's installation. And we are so, so excited. And there's going to be an Oneg Shabbat then, too. So please make sure that that's on your calendar. Again, whether you're at home or here, we really hope that you will join us for that special, special evening. All of those special, special evenings. And there are a lot of other special evenings. Again, you'll see them on our website and in your handout. But at this time, we are going to begin to conclude our service as we rise, joining together in Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כהמונם, ואנחנו משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני
Be seated. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. On this Shabbat, we join as a community in remembering those who have recently been laid to rest. Katie Slonim, Al Bernstein, Florence Irwin, Aaron Beck, Annette Schwartz, Barry Meyerson, Sherman Tufel, Jules Deutsch, Harold Rose, Mandel Hinks Schemberg. We also remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose passing, occurs at this time. Herbert Abramson, Alfred Adrian, Bernard Aronovitz, Warner Brodeck, Edward Buff, Lee Dane, Alexander Degan, Simon Dingfelder, Natalie Dunn, David Eckelman, Albert Felsenthal, Mo Fleece, Jeffrey Flock, Betty Frazier, Della Goodman, Kenneth Hall, Isaac Hainan, Howard Haubenstock, Alma Hirsch, Joseph Hoffman, Lawrence Ingber, Ann Josloff, Barry Kahn, Max Kaplan, Marlene Kittredge, Ira Klinger, May Kobitz, Janice Kornfeld, Dorothy Kreisman, Lawrence Lane, Morton Lasher, Philip Lebed, Kenneth Levin, Edith Mackless, Carmen Manis, Edith Merrill, David Mendelson, Charles Miriam, Miriam Messerman, Frederick Moel, Helen Palkus, Edward Pelkison, Claire Rachelson, Jody Redler, Reuben Rockkind, Isidore Roffer, Cora Rosenblum, Ralph Roth, Edna Sapphire, Ella Saunders, Eve Shear, Max Schwartzbach, Maybelle Sells, Albert Silverman, Anna Simonhoff, Helen Singer, Barrett Spahn, Mary Swick, Margaret Wagner, Sidney Walters, Willie Weiss, Edward Werner, Sylvia Wolf, Evelyn Zuckerman. We remember them even as we remember all of our own loved ones who are no longer with us, who, though unmentioned, are always in our hearts. Again, Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, is another one of those times where in thoughts of sadness, we turn to thanks. Because the Kaddish is a prayer of praise and thanks to God for even as we mourn, we offer thanks that such special lives were part of our lives and continue to be a gift in our lives. As Zichronam Livracha, their memory is a blessing for eternity. We rise now as a community as we join together in Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayev d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamnei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudashah barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromam hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together, amen. You know it's coming.
What a great way for us to end our service tonight, giving thanks to God, giving thanks to everyone, so that we can all go out and enjoy a wonderful oneg, to which we will give thanks to than Miriam and her family. So let us sing together.
And if you didn't sing the last time, you don't have any excuses this time. Oh, Dula Adonai Kito, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Oh, Dula Elohei Elohim, Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Oh, Dula Elohei Adonim, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Oh, Dula Adonai Kito, Ki Leolam Hasdo, Leolam Hasdo. Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Oh, Dula Adonai Kito, Ki Leolam Hasdo, Leolam Hasdo.
Ve'osei hashamayim bitbuna,
Ki Leolam Hasdo,
ve'gozer yamsuf ligzarim,
Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo.
oh, Dula Adonai Adonim,
Ki Leolam Hasdo,
hashemesh le'nemshelet ba'hayom,
Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Oh, Dula Adonai Kito, Ki Leolam Hasdo, Leolam Hasdo. Ki Leolam Hasdo, Ki Leolam Hasdo. Oh, Dula Adonai Kito, Ki Leolam Hasdo, Leolam Hasdo. Leolam Hasdo, Leolam Hasdo. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yavarech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto this people, blessing this and all peoples with the ability to find the blessing in every moment, to allow the God in each of us to create a blessing in every moment, thus creating peace in every moment of our lives. As we say together, Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. That was really, really nice. And again, my goal is that, like, it doesn't have to be a special service. Yeah, we make it a special service. It was a very special service.
Next time I'll give you a rim shot after.
Oh, please do, please do. All right, I wasn't quick enough.
Can I make it okay while we were doing something? Good job.
Yeah, you're fine.
Always
You're
awesome.
doing great. All right, I'm going to go talk to the guy. Okay, good. What do you need? Okay. I can put it down here. All right. Oh, Rabbi Zach.
I don't know. I mean, that's, eat dessert first. That's the way it should be.
That's right.
Man, that baseball line.
That sound good out there?
Oh my gosh. Mark's sitting back there. Mark's going. It's almost like stepping up there.
All right, I'm going to talk to the
Set up all the time, so.
You're working on it. But I know where they are.
She watches it.
No. Oh, no. No.
Thank you. Hi, Cindy. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Good. Yeah, well, not yet. It's coming, though. It's coming. Yay. Jeffrey, thank you, honey, so much. So much. And Robert. It was good.
I'll see you tomorrow
It
afternoon.
was fun. And we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
I'm gonna grab
Go get something from there.
ha 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 Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivahanu לעסוק בדברי תורה לעסוק בדברי תורה Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivahanu לעסוק בדברי תורה לעסוק בדברי תורה Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues.
I just had to tell you, when I was lost, I found you as a refuge. So let me in, cause I just wanna be close to you. Today is the day, so live it up, up, up and away. Fly high over all that you have made, and I will praise your name. Congregation Schaarai Zedek, open for me, honestly. Pull the gates wide, let 'em swing right open, and I will run through. Be who Zedek Avovam Odea. Open for me, honestly. Pull the gates wide, let them swing right open. And I will run through He who Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, baruch hu shemo, basru miyom liyom Yeshuat.
Kol Shabbat, Kol Shabbat, Kol Shabbat, Kol Shabbat.